on the efficiency of the top lobbying groups in New York. Introduction. The discrepancies in national and state government policies can cause the fall of federalism. In particular, the negligence of public spheres, specifically healthcare and education, will not contribute to the economic advancement of the country. With regard to the above, the primary goal of lobbying groups is to enhance the importance of the public sector, which is considered an inherent component of a prosperous economic situation. In New York State, lobbying groups resort to serious steps for influencing governmental politics to meet the needs of each client's case. Thus, the legislative body is largely affected by in-depth research conducted by public interest groups in New York. They provide specific recommendations and claims to encourage the changes in favor of the public segment. Among the New York lobbying groups, it is necessary to single out the three most influential ones: 1199, Service Employees International Union, SEIU, Greater New York Hospital Association, GNYHA, and New York State United Teachers. Most of their reforms are directed at improving and financing healthcare services and educational spheres. General evaluation of the effectiveness of the lobbying groups under consideration. Judging by the amount of money spent on lobbying and lobbying activities, the presented interest groups pay sufficient attention to the situation in social relations in the New York public sector. However, the evident leader among those is the Greater New York Hospital Association, which spends around $1.6 million on lobbying. However, lobbying activities are not the strongest side of this nonprofit organization. In this respect, NYS United Teachers succeeded in striking the balance between lobbying and campaign contributions and encouraging the fulfillment of the established goals. Analysis of recent legislature proposals put forward by the New York lobbying groups. As it has been reported, the New York lobbying groups are extremely concerned with the medical care sphere. In this respect, GNYHA introduced and approved the adoption of the Healthcare and Education Reconciliation Act. The project is aimed at re-evaluating the budget formation. In particular, the interest group calls for improving the health and educational situation through enhancing the financial support of the corresponding sectors. The Healthcare and Education Reconciliation Act was ratified by the President and was taken into consideration by the government. Hence, the budget was reconsidered in favor of healthcare and education by cutting the financial support of the banking establishments. As a result, the lobbying groups received a monetary reward of $3 million. The same strategies and problems were analyzed in the healthcare education project put forward by 1199 SEIU and GNYHA. The prevention of budget cutting in the healthcare sector is a necessary step up for improving the social and economic situation. This necessity is predetermined by insufficient financing of all service industries and a lack of legislative reforms regulating this issue. To monitor the NYS authorities, the collaboration project includes all types of activities, from presenting TV materials to providing correspondent legal provisions. Aside from this joint project, 1199 SEIU activities are also directed at working out legislature to improve the quality of the employment environment for immigrants. The fact that the plan has been introduced and considered in Congress is already considerable progress. The reforms provided by NYS United Teachers received the highest approval from the government in financial terms. The lobbying group argues the necessity for advancing the standards of an educational process. This concerns the quality of the teaching and learning process. The reform was a $1 billion investment into the school development, and about $300 million has been introduced for the improvement of higher education standards. Moreover, NYS United Teachers managed to introduce great shifts in ethical codes and programs of schooling. In particular, their program called Safe School argues the necessity to launch ethical programs of conduct in classes to ensure parents and students that educational establishments are the safest places to learn and to teach. In addition, the legislative department of the NYS United Teachers Group also advocates for federal and state representatives to retain professional advancements. Judging from the statistics and the government's reaction to the requirements and legislative recommendations provided by the leading lobbying groups in New York, authorities are predominantly guided by the public interest sector. Although not all legislatures were ratified, the government managed to pay considerable attention to it. Evaluating the lobbying group's campaign contributions to their candidates. Analyzing the statistics on the amount of money spent on donations and lobbying activities, several assumptions can be made. All lobbying has different ratios of funding, which are explained by different priorities. In particular, NYS United Teachers emphasize lobbying activities and provide fewer financial contributions to the candidates. In contrast, 1199 SEIU and GNYHA are more concerned with the electoral board financing, instead giving less stress on reforming. The statistics, hence, reveal different strategies applied by the lobbying groups. Some groups give priority to imposing a political and legal impact on the government, whereas other interest groups are more concerned with developing their policies. One way or another, all their attempts contribute to the advancement of the public sector. In general, the campaign financing in New York State is insignificant due to the considerable contribution limits. More importantly, although the New York lobbies laws are influential and enhanced by the state legislature, they have introduced slight shifts in the legal procedures and regulations. This is explained by the fact that lobbyists are more concentrated on research processes and information gathering for policy analysis rather than working out effective strategies for reforming the public sector. Thereby, having a great influence on state regulations, it neglects its opportunity. Conclusion. The analysis of recent legislature proposals introduced by 1199 SEIU, NYS United Teachers, and Greater New York Hospital Association has revealed some controversies in their policies and lobbying activities. To begin with, all their concerns are connected with their specific interests and, therefore, their core goal is to provide alterations to the state legislature that can satisfy their needs and conform to their legal requirements. Second, New York lobbyists emphasize research development and information exchange rather than political development. Third, their legal reforms are aimed at improving the healthcare sphere and educational situation, which is also connected with public sectors. One way or another, some of their amendments considerably affect the legal system of the United States.